Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are here today at the RACE, the Real Alternative Community Empower Meeting that is held here at the Opportunity Corner in the Goodwill. I'm here with some of my partners and brothers who do this work inside of community. And so today I want to talk a little bit about what this meeting was. I think this is like the third community meeting that Councilwoman Tammy Hawkins has held in this space. And so as crime continues to rise in our community, there are organizations who are on the ground, who are doing the work inside of community. But today I want to get a little bit information about race and what is the real goal at hand for this new organization, or is it a new organization?
I wouldn't say that race is necessarily a new organization. It's a collective of organizations that have been doing the work in community to prevent violence, to fight back against the ills in our community. Yeah.
Right. What about you?
It's the same things he said, but it's more of an intervention and alternative. There's a lot of organizations, a lot of people doing the work, but I think when we say the real, we're really asking for the community to be a part of the initiative. Community based doesn't have to be worried about doesn't have to be worried about financially being sustained, because it is the community being involved and giving the community a voice to be able to change the narrative and curve the balance from their perspective, not from a boardroom or somebody else's program that was designed on their ideals of what they think would work. The community know what they need. They just need a voice, and Race is here to run that race with them.
All right. So you heard, guys, they said race. So it is a partnership with other community partners that are here in the collective who are actually doing the work. So as we both, all three of us, been in community, boots on the ground, working with youth in terms of my organization, 50-50 Mentoring, in terms of primary prevention, getting to a kid before the crime actually happens. So as we talk about primary and interventions, could you talk a little bit about what your organization has done over the past 3 years, and what has been some success and what have been some barriers in making those programs successful?
My organization is Armed and Educated, youth mentoring, firearm safety and responsibility, conflict management, de-escalation, resolution, and avoidance training. Absolutely work with 50-50 bosses, not bangers as well. It's definitely been effective. All the measurement pieces, we're learning how to make sure that we hang on to that. But what we do know we've done is develop relationships with young folks, not as much recidivism back into the system, not as many referrals in schools, and lasting relationships with young folks in community, and developing leaders as well. Not just, hey, young man, young lady, change your life, which is phenomenal on its own, right? But get back into the community and produce the outcomes that you want to see, and encourage your peers to do the same.
And real quick, I wanted to just switch it up. So what have been some of the challenges for you? So let's talk about like being an organization in terms of just starting out, because you started out a couple of years ago. What have been some of the challenges for you to sustain, and or just things you learned over the 3 years you've been doing programming?
This is my senior year. This is my fourth year doing this. So I actually came from the street perspective, the core issue of what's going on in our community, our drug traffickers, our robbers. I was a 14-year-old individual that took a gun to school to handle conflict. I'm an 18-year-old felon. So what my narrative is change the perspective of our mentors are usually your drug dealer in the neighborhood, who that young individual will deal with. But because through drug trafficking, robbery, and all the criminal activity that I was involved in, I'm able to go see one of those guys who were in those type of settings with me, doing those criminal activities, and I can say, hey, let me get my hands on that little dude right there. You know he's not cut for these streets. You know he's out here meddling. Tell him, give me a try. And then with that, I got a blessing from God. I was chosen by DJJ to deal with justice-involved youth. So I've never gotten a grant outside of one of those grants that I had got from Ocean, which was, if you knew how to write the right words, you got the funding. And I found out how to write the right words by going to a lot of these meetings, hearing the same thing being said over and over. Yeah. And with that, DJJ saw me as a poster child. Here's a guy who took a gun to school, who perpetrated violence, who turned around and started an organization to reach back and get individuals who were like him. He's the prime example. And because of my background, I was able to reach those individuals that are the reason for these violent issues that we have. So my narrative is this. We relate to them because we've been where they are. So we're able to meet them where they're at.
All All right, guys. So you heard it here first with some of organizations who are boots on the ground doing the work. So before we close, do you have any advice for community partners who want to form an organization, or do you have any advice for them to do this type of work? Because this type of work ain't easy. You know what I mean? Oftentimes we get organizations who say they want to work with these kids, but don't know what it takes to work with kids or to deal with kids who are doing the crime, are being the shooter, are getting killed. So I know a number of us have lost youth in this work. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about the mental toll that it takes on your brain as we continue to advocate for these youth and show up. But we're also human. We also have feelings as well too. And so what are some of the pointers that you can give any organization or community member who wants to get in this type of work?
I would definitely say be culturally competent and covered in prayer. Let's start there. Two, you have to stay encouraged and know what your why is for being involved in any community work where you want to better the community for sure. And don't let anything dissuade you or turn you around from doing what your why is. And make sure you're focused on the accomplishment of we really want to see it done. Don't be dissuaded. Don't be dismayed. Keep at it.
So what God has for you is for you, and who don't understand your vision is not for them to understand, especially if you have a personal relationship with God. You can step in those rooms where you don't feel comfortable or wanted or needed, or some people might think that you don't have a place in her, but if God put it on your heart to do anything that you're doing, that is going to take you all the way. And you don't have to be experienced. God will move an experienced person out of the way and put you in that position if you're the right person for it. I'm a witness to that.
All right, guys, you heard it here live. We're here. We're in community. We doing the work. If you want to follow up and get any additional information, please reach out to two of these brothers. And also right now, if I can show out a plug, because I am putting together a community directory of all violence prevention programs and resources that is going to be available. It's going to be combined lists, right? So it's not just going to be our list. It's going to be combined lists of different organizations putting one directory together. So are you on the list? Please follow us on all social media platforms, Friends of Nicole 50/50 Mentoring, or check out our Louisville Youth Programs and Service Facebook group. All right, guys, until then, see you later.
Healthy Business Connect Us empowers families to thrive through holistic well-being, early child development, and accessible health care.
We are committed to fostering connections, knowledge sharing, and support networks that enhance the physical, mental, and emotional health of children, parents, and caregivers.
By building bridges between healthcare providers, social services organizations, educators, and families,
we aspire to create a world where every child experiences a healthy and nurturing start.
Setting the foundation for a brighter future.
Hey y'all, I'm R.A.C.E, former Kentucky State Representative, and you're joining me today on State Election Night.
We will continue to provide updates as we have more information.